Welcome to the She Thinks Big podcast. Get ready to level up your thinking and expand your horizons. I'm your host, Andrea Liebross, your guide on this journey of big ideas and bold moves. I am the best-selling author of She Thinks Big, the entrepreneurial woman's guide to moving past the messy middle and into the extraordinary. I support women like you with the insights and mindset you need to think bigger and the strategies and systems you need to turn that thinking into action and make it all a reality. Are you ready to stop thinking small and start thinking big? Let's dive in. Hello out there. How are all the CEOs that I am chatting with inside this podcast platform? How are you? What are you doing today? Where are we going? What are we doing? Send me a message. Is anyone going to any place more exciting than Target? And where are you walking? Is it beautiful? Is it hot and sunny? Is it snowing? We are about to get on a plane tomorrow. I am batch recording here. On a plane tomorrow to go to Antigua. And we looked up, how do you say Antigua? Antigua? Well, both are perfectly fine, we learned, according to the YouTube videos. So that is where I'm going tomorrow. And I haven't really shared with you, I do listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm traveling, especially by myself, when I'm traveling by myself, which does happen pretty often. But that is another place that I listen to podcasts. So do you listen to podcasts when you're traveling? I don't know, but I have to remember to download them all. That's the thing, because once you get up in the air, you can't hear them anymore. So I'm happy you're here. I want to know what you're doing and where you're going. Send me a DM, snap a photo, get it on over to me. And I am happy to have you here because today, this is really a topic that probably is only going to go between you and me. This is not a topic that you probably discuss at your kitchen table while you're sitting by a pool with your friends at wine night. Honestly, even in a networking group or in some type of like collegial community. Okay. So grab your coffee and maybe a pencil and sit down in your favorite chair or really turn up the volume there on those headphones. And let's have a chat about something that might just change the way you approach your business. Now, when we think about growing our business, the first thing that comes to mind, often, I would say 99% of the time, is chasing revenue, right? Maybe it's hitting that next 6 or 7 figure milestone. I have plenty of people I'm coaching that are trying to hit the next 6 figure milestone. And I have plenty of people trying to hit that next 7 figure milestone. Okay. And one's not right, one's not wrong. That's just where they are. But here's what I want you to consider. What if focusing on revenue was not the best way to grow? What if the real key to sustainable, lasting growth lies somewhere else entirely? What if it is not in chasing of the revenue? Okay, now, let me tell you a story. I was working with a client recently. I'm going to call her Jenna. I am not working with any Jennas right now. I have lots of Jenna friends though. So that's why I'm using this name. So Jenna is a powerhouse, okay? She is smart. She is driven. She is laser focused on growing her business. No doubt about that. But she hit a wall. About 6 months ago, she hit a wall. And despite all her efforts, all of the things she was doing, revenue was not climbing as fast as she had hoped, and she felt stuck. So the revenue is not climbing as fast as she had hoped. She feels like she's doing all the things. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever been in this spot? Have you? I bet you have. So I asked her one simple question. I'm going to ask you one simple question. What if instead of focusing on revenue, you focused on delivering so much value that revenue just becomes a natural byproduct? I asked her this. What if you focused on just delivering so much value that revenue is just a byproduct of the value that you are delivering? Now, when I asked Jenna this question, she kind of looked at me like I was speaking a different language. Well, let me explain. Okay. Businesses do not thrive by chasing numbers. They don't. But they do thrive by building a foundation that delivers long-term value. Long-term value. And this is what this means. It could look different depending on what you're doing, but it could look like enhancing your customer experience. So the people out there in the world are raving about you. You're creating raving fans. Okay. What if creating value meant building a brand that truly inspires? Okay. They feel inspired by you and they trust you and they want to be loyal to you. What if creating value means that you are empowering your team so that they feel invested and deliver their best work? What if delivering value meant innovating? Thinking of new things, because staying stagnant isn't always a best option. Okay. What if, okay, now this is a good one. I just worked on this morning with the client. What if delivering value means improving your efficiency so you are doing more of what works and less of what doesn't? Now, these are not business strategies per se. I say that they're relationship strategies. Relationships with your customers, relationships with your team, relationships with your systems, relationships even with your own mind. Okay, now let's talk how this relates to goals for a sec. When you're asking me about your goals, do you know what I hear most often than anything else? I hear the goal, make more money. And listen, I get it. Money is important. I would like to make more money. I will be totally honest. Okay. It is honestly the lifeblood of your business. It fosters like fuels your whole life, right? But here's the thing. The money or the revenue is just a number. It's an outcome. It's a measurable. It is not a strategy. Okay. And the goals that really drive sustainable growth, that really help you get to that number, the goals are really the ways in which you'll make the money. Okay. They are strategies that you want to employ during the year or during the quarter. Okay. For example, instead of saying I want to make more money, you could say, I want to create a referral program to deepen client loyalty. Or I want to invest in a new team member to expand capacity. Or I want to create a much more efficient onboarding process. Okay. These are actionable strategies that lead to revenue growth. So in like a vision to action intensive, for example, when we talk about goals, I mean, yes, money is out there, but that is a measurable, that's a number. Your goals for the year should be the strategies, employing these strategies, putting them into action that are going to help you get to the number. Okay. So when you kind of shift your mindset and you shift your goals from just a number to actionable strategies, you are going to go way farther. Okay. And this shift is not just about thinking bigger. Okay. It's about thinking smarter. And let me tell you that this is the kind of work that we do in coaching. Okay. We do the work that helps you translate and like think about that, like Google Translate your big dreams, your big thinking into systems and processes and mindset shifts that make the number happen. Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. Goals should really be about employing strategies. They should not be the number. The number is the measurable. Okay. So I want to pause here. Time for a commercial break. Nope, I don't have commercials, but let's pause for a moment. And I want to touch on one of the very biggest fears that I hear from you, the CEO, from you, the mom, from you, the business owner, from you, the spouse. Okay. It's this nagging worry. Am I delivering what I promised? Am I delivering on what I promised? Am I giving my clients enough value? Am I giving my kids what they need? Am I showing up for my partner? Does my pricing align with the value I'm providing? Does the time I'm spending with my kids align with the mom I want to be? Okay. So let me know, does this resonate with you? And if it resonates with you, you're not alone. So many of the women I coach feel this same way. I sometimes feel the same way. Am I giving you the value in this podcast that you're giving me 20 minutes of your time? So am I giving you 20 minutes of value? Right? So let's reframe the question though. Instead of asking if I'm giving enough value, or instead of you asking yourself, am I giving enough value? Ask yourself, am I clear on the value I'm delivering and am I communicating it effectively? Am I clear on the value I'm delivering and am I communicating it effectively? This is the kicker, my friends. A lot of times we don't have conversations with our spouse or our kids or our client about what you are intending to deliver. Okay. And it's not about adding more bells and whistles. It's about you helping your kid, you helping your client truly see and understand what they're getting, the transformation they're getting, the energy they're getting. Okay. And second thing I want to share here with you, pricing is not about worthiness or fairness. It's about alignment. Okay. When your pricing reflects the results you're creating with your clients, that alignment builds the trust and the confidence and the sustainable growth for you and for them. When your time you're putting into your family isn't about being enough or worthy or fair, it's about alignment. When your time reflects the result you want to create with your kid, okay, that's what's going to build their trust with you. So there's a whole podcast on worthiness, pricing, your worth in dollars and cents. And we will put the link to that podcast in the show notes. It's a good one to kind of go along with this we're talking about today. So here's the magic. When you're focused on these indirect drivers, when you're focused on these strategy-based goals, revenue doesn't just grow, it grows organically. So Jenna, my client, started working on her customer journey, creating wow moments at every stage. And she shifted her team's mindset from tasks to mission, from tasks to driving business forward. And guess what? Not only did her revenue increase, but so did her, I'll call it joy factor. She felt in control. She really felt like she was living the way she wanted to live. She felt fulfilled. Okay. And that's what I want for you. I want you to feel that way too. So shifting to implementing strategy from just focusing on revenue gives you what you want. And that is what I want for you. So how can you start putting this into practice? Here's your homework. Here are 3 things to consider this week. What's one area of your client or customer experience that you could elevate? Maybe it's clearer communication. Maybe it's a more seamless process. How can you elevate your customer experience? And number 2, are your systems supporting your growth or are they creating bottlenecks? Look for inefficiencies and ask, how can I simplify? Okay. And the third thing I want you to think about this week is, how are you empowering your team or yourself to innovate? Are you creating the space for fresh ideas to emerge? This kind of goes back to the last 2 podcast episodes I recorded. One was about team meetings and one was about taking retreats in order to advance. This is all empowering your team and yourself. Are you doing that? And if you focus on these 3 questions, this is you focusing on the strategies to create the revenue. So revenue isn't the goal, it's the strategy implementation. Now, as you think through these, do not forget to ask yourself, what are the strategies that I can implement to drive my goals this quarter or this year forward? Because when you shift and your focus to strategies, everything becomes clearer and achievable. And here's the thing again, when you invest in creating that value, you're not just building a business, you're building trust and loyalty and resilience and sustainability. You're setting yourself up for growth that lasts, not just for this quarter or this year, but for the long, long haul. Okay, so as we wrap up our walk together or our drive together or our plane ride together, what is one shift that you can make today to invest in those indirect revenue drivers? What's one strategy that you can commit to that was going to support your goals? Okay, I would love to hear about it. Reach out to me, send me a message via social media, or book a call with me, even better. And we can keep this conversation going. Now, if you know another CEO, female CEO, okay, that kind of is always focused on numbers, I want you to share this episode with them. This could be a way to open up the conversation. It's hard to have these conversations if you're not within a safe environment, but this could be a way to open up the conversation. You got this. You're good. This is tricky stuff. Thinking about your annual goals, not as revenue, the revenue not being one of them, but the strategies to make the revenue happen as being the goals. This is tricky stuff. This is advanced. And I would love to help you become more advanced. And I will do that next week on the next episode of She Thinks Big. But this week, work on those things that we chatted about. Be safe. Keep your eyes on the road. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning into the She Thinks Big podcast. If you're ready to learn the secret to unleashing your full potential, don't forget to grab a copy of my book, She Thinks Big, the entrepreneurial woman's guide to moving past the messy middle and into the extraordinary. It's available on Amazon and at your favorite bookstore. And while you're there, grab a copy for a friend. Inside, you'll both find actionable strategies and empowering insights to help you navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship and life and step confidently into your extraordinary future. If you found value in today's episode, please consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're ready to take this learning a step further and apply it to your own business and life, head to andreaswithans.com and click the button to schedule a discovery call. Until next time, keep thinking big.